What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Woo! I am out here today on a sandy beach on the Great Lakes. I'm gonna be spending the night with a tarp and a tent underneath this fallen tree. It's cold, it's rainy, it's windy, all the best conditions for camping. Oh, it's nice to come out when it's like this because it's a bit of an adventure, but also it's a much greater chance that I have the entire place to myself. This wasn't exactly the plan for today. I had something else in mind. At the last minute, I kind of had to pull a little bit of an audible. Either way, I'm here and I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to spend the night out here, enjoying this beautiful nature area. I'm gonna make myself a nice fire, or at least try to. Cook up some good food. I got some good beers to drink. I'm just gonna take it all in and do my best to live in the moment. But before I do any of that, I'm gonna take a little nip off of the old banana flask. Woo! That is New Holland's beer barrel bourbon. It's definitely a favorite on the channel. All right, everybody, without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so same thing I did last time. Oh, I pitched my tarp into the wind to catch it like a sail instead of using it to block the wind. So, since I'm gonna want my fire in front, that would be blowing all the smoke directly into my tarp, which means I gotta take the tarp and I gotta move it so it's pointing back over that way. Okay, well, that is officially up. I swear, sometimes these things can be easy and simple to do, and sometimes they can be a real pain in the butt. But yeah, I'm really not feeling the wind coming in, and it's blowing that way anyway. So I think right out in front here is gonna be a good spot to have a fire. I'm feeling pretty cozy under here. Still got to set up the tent, got some more stuff to set up, so that's the stuff we got to work on next. All right, I'm trying out this tent from Near Zero. It's pretty small, but I have a few pieces of their gear today, so I'm going to be just seeing how these work. I've got a trip coming up with my nephews, and we're going to be doing a little 2-night backpacking trip. So I might take this tent, we'll see. I'll probably take it, and if nothing else, one of them can use it. So, but for tonight, I'm gonna be giving it an old test. I'd rather get this stuff tested out when it's just me out here alone than when I got the little ones with me, if you know what I mean. Here's, I put it on backwards. Yes, I did. That means you gotta flip the whole thing around. Now we're moving and shaking. All right, so this thing has clips, which I'm a big fan of clips. I greatly prefer that to having to feed the tent pole through a sleeve. That way is fine too, but this is just a lot more convenient. So the whole beach is basically just like a big slope. There are some spots where I could have pushed back in further into the trees and had some flatter ground. For like a normal camping scenario, I probably would have done that. You know, the whole point of making the video here is to camp on the beach. That's part of the fun of making this video. At any rate, I am camping on the beach, and we have a bit of a slant, and it's pretty much like that all the way up and down the beach. When you get stuck where you don't have very level ground, what I like to do is angle it so your head is at the top and your feet are down. I find that to be a more comfortable sleeping position than either rolling over to the side or your head lower than your feet. What I also will do sometimes, and we might give this a try tonight, is put the backpack perpendicular in the tent underneath your sleeping pad, and that helps kind of lift your legs up a little bit. And then you're kind of almost into like a V. You're a little bit flatter that way. So anyway, that's how I like to do it, and that's what we'll be doing tonight, I think. Of course, I want to talk to you guys and tell you what my original plan was and why I ditched that plan, why I'm doing this instead. But before I do that, I just have to say a quick shout out to my sponsor for today, Raycon earbuds. If you're like me, then you are stoked to be enjoying the summer. The warm breeze on your skin, the longer daylight hours, there are so many adventures out there waiting for us. When I'm hiking down a long trail, I like to have a trusty sidekick, feeding me podcasts or music. For me, that sidekick is the everyday earbuds from Raycon. Raycon's earbuds are better than ever with a 32-hour battery life and multi-point connectivity that lets you pair up to 2 devices at once. Speaking of battery, Raycon's quick charge function lets you get 90 minutes of playtime with just 10 minutes of charging. These earbuds come with active noise canceling, something that's really difficult to find at this price point. Personally, I like to wear them while I'm mowing the lawn. They cut out the mower noise, and they allow me to just enjoy my music or my podcast in peace. Raycons are now super easy to pair. Just do it once, and they will auto pair for life. Walk up to 33 feet away from your phone, and the audio quality is still top notch. On top of all that, these earbuds are now sweat and water resistant, now coming with an IP66 rating. I got mine with the protective case. They come in a variety of unique designs and include a wireless charging capacity. These earbuds are incredibly comfortable. No more earaches or falling out during vigorous activities. Go to buyraycon.com/SamBananas for 15% off of Raycon's best-selling everyday earbuds. Brought to you by Raycon! Thanks again to Raycon for sponsoring this video and helping to keep me in business. All right, everybody, let's get back into the action. All right, so basically what happened was I packed everything up to do a canoe trip. I was planning on coming roughly to this location or maybe a bit further down because it's kind of easier to paddle a longer distance than it is to hike it, in my opinion anyway. But I got here and I walked out and checked the point where you put the canoe in, and the waves were just beaten down. Last summer, I tried repeatedly to paddle out to an island that's off the shore of this beach that has like an abandoned lighthouse and some really cool stuff on it. I mean, I have maybe 3 different failed attempts trying to get there because the waves were heavy. When I looked online today, it looked like we were gonna be okay. Just to be safe, I went ahead and threw a hiking backpack in the car. And sure enough, when I got here, I had to unpack everything and throw it into that backpack and just do a little bit of a hiking trip. But I'm here, and I'm set up, and I'm definitely happy about that. So I did camp with this mat on another camp. I don't know at the time of this filming if you've seen it or not. I haven't posted it yet, but I thought it was you know, kind of comfortable enough. I generally prefer like a vertical baffling, kind of like a pool float, and I find those types of sleeping mats to be the most comfortable. I didn't think this one was bad, to be honest with you. One thing is, and you can see, it's thin. It's like a thin, it's thin this way. Not necessarily this way, it's wide enough this way, you know, for 3-season use. But, yeah, it is, I mean, it's not even barely like as wide as my shoulders, just barely or almost. So I am a side sleeper, so for the most part, I think it'll be fine. Get my sleeping bag set up in there. When you're doing this, you're gonna get some amount of sand in the tent. There's no 2 ways around it. I don't think that's gonna be very doable for a good night's sleep tonight. Oh, for crying out loud. Yeah, I thought I was gonna get away with being lazy, but I don't think it's gonna happen. So that's all right. Gives us a nice, fun activity. Oh, that's better. That should do it. I'm gonna go ahead and say that's pretty solid. I could probably fiddle around with it a little bit more, but I think I have a few things that are a little bit more important that I need to tend to. Yep, that's a good one. All right, so I'm going for a little bit of a walk up and down the beach there, and I found a couple of crankbaits. Yeah, so I'm curious if you can let me know in the comments what these are kind of good for. I think it's missing a treble hook here, so I could probably add one. But yeah, it's got a big lip on it, and there's a treble hook in the back, and it kind of wiggles like that. And then this one's got like 3 treble hooks in the middle and a big lip. So I imagine it goes down pretty reasonably deep. Just curious, what do you think these things are good for? What would you use to fish these? What conditions would you fish them in? If you know a little bit about fishing, I'm doing my best to learn. So I'm gonna take these home with me, clean them up, put them back to use, might as well. And yeah, I'd love to hear from you guys. Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Okay, well, got my firewood kind of all sorted out. I'm pretty much ready to get that fire going. I guess it's probably the responsible thing if I take you on the little walk and show you the stuff I wanted to show you before I start the fire, so let's go ahead and do that. There's no roof, obviously, so it's a fun little hut that somebody, you know, built who's messing around, but it's pretty cool. Unfortunately, it's kind of hard to stop people from littering. I really wish they wouldn't do it. This whole beach up and down is just completely covered with litter. I can only make so much of an impact, but try to grab a handful of it to take out with me when I leave. I know a lot of you do the same, and appreciate you. Here we go. Not too bad. I'll take it. Cheers, everybody. All right. I'm gonna listen to the waves, finish my meal in peace, and check back with you guys in just a few. Last beer of the evening. If you guys watch the channel regularly, then you would have probably seen my old dog, Monty. He's been in a handful of videos. He was a very, very old dog, and recent video that I did with him was his last camp. His hips were failing. For about a year, it was getting progressively worse. We had gradually started him on 3 different pain medications. He started off with a shot once a month called Librela. From there, we introduced a daily pill called Vetprofen. After that, he ended up on gabapentin 3 times a day. His leg would shake. He'd been through the ringer. The past few years, we'd removed a cancerous lump from his back hip. He had bladder stones that we had to have surgically removed. You know, Mrs. Bananas and I don't have children, so the dogs are kind of like our children. At Christmas time last year, we had 3 dogs. And today we have 1. Old Killian. Super sweet Killian. Very, very sweet dog. He's young and he's still kicking. And he's very, very healthy. At a certain point of trying to take care of Monty, he started slipping and falling. His legs were spreading out. His hind legs were spreading out like this. And he couldn't stand back up on his own. It was only a matter of time. His favorite place in the world was my in-laws. They had a nice big fenced-in yard, and it was just a place where he really enjoyed himself. We were house sitting for them, so we were over there for almost a week. So we just spoiled him every night with a bunch of extravagant dinners. Pizza, bacon-wrapped pork chops with a peanut butter sauce drizzled all over it. I mean, we just spoiled him. Lots of love, lots of hugs, lots of pets. And then we had a service come out, and they laid him to rest right in the backyard. I'm glad I was able to do that for him, but I know it was time, and I know we had to do what we had to do. But it's hard to say goodbye to a dog that you've had for 15 years. I got him as a puppy from the dog pound. They guessed him at 4 months old, and they'd had him for a month. In about roughly August, he'd have been 16. He was 50 pounds. He wasn't giant, but he was a decent sized dog, and he lived a long life. So I hope I gave him the best life that I could. Don't mean to end the night on such a downer, but I got to share it with you guys at some point. All right, everybody. I'm going to sit around and enjoy the fire for a little bit. Anything crazy happens, I'll definitely let you guys know. Otherwise, you'll see me in the morning. Good night, everybody. All right, everybody. Oh, that is another one in the books. I had a very fun time. I hope you did too. Oh, want to send a big shout out to each and every one of you. You all make it possible for me to do this, and I really appreciate the support. If you liked what you saw today and you want to see more, I would greatly appreciate it if you would click that banana, and we're going to catch you on the next one, everybody. Bye now.